Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie and Lekter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Good morning. Welcome to Mornings at the Cabin. Post-apocalyptic weekend. Apocalyptic? Apocalyptic.
Apocalypso?
Apocalypso. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Whole world's gonna end. Da-da-da-da-da.
Isn't it nice that it hasn't? Isn't it nice to wake up on a Monday morning and not have to worry about hundreds and thousands of friends and colleagues having to go out on strike?
Well put. Yes, it is. And incredible work this weekend. I know we shouldn't toot our own horn, but I can toot yours if you don't mind. Wonderful work. Wonderful work this weekend. You worked tirelessly and gave everyone what they needed, which was kind of a as boilerplate as you can get with these kind of complex negotiations and everything kind of going on. You made it very clear to everybody what was going on and what anything meant that was happening.
You know who I want to meet is Vince Reddy.
I do want to meet Vince Reddy.
And say, Vince, how do you keep doing this? Because in BC, everyone in BC seems to love that guy after 2014. I think it was Teachers Federation. You figured them out.
That's right.
And now it comes up here, last second, suddenly manages to convince everybody, just let me decide.
All right.
How'd you do it, Vince?
He didn't represent either side. I think that was probably what it was.
Well, yeah,
just the guy in the middle.
Yeah, no, good for him. Can he please be in that chair? He would solve a lot of our problems.
Is he still in town? Let's get him in here.
Oh, no, yeah, we should get him in here.
No, very good news. Although I did receive one message from a friend of mine who works for the G. They were going to walk out, and they were against it. They didn't want to do it, and they were like, I was really looking forward to having a week off. And I said, fair enough.
All those projects you didn't really want to do, put them on the back burner.
That's right. Just, take this week to just kind of decompress from all this stress.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Last week, City Councillor, duly elected representative City Councillor Julian Morse posted on Facebook a controversial opinion. And we're here to respond to that controversy. He posted that he'd never had a bad experience with Air Canada. Whether you believe him or not, he's entitled to his opinion. I'm not going to vote for him next time because of that opinion, but that's what he posted. And after that, a lot of people responded. I think there were dozens of comments on that.
Well, it's the kind of topic that a lot of people have a lot of opinions on.
That's
here.
right.
Yep.
So,
and it's the kind of thing Julian specializes.
That's
in.
right. That's right.
Creating controversy and conversation.
That's right.
It.
He creates dialogues.
He does.
This is what we love about it.
Brings us all together in the end.
Yeah, does he? So last night he posted, "You all are gonna love this." He was bumped from his flight. His flight was canceled. His Air Canada flight was canceled out of Edmonton, and he's stuck in Edmonton.
Karma has been swift and brutal, he posted on Facebook. 6 days after saying he'd never had a bad experience with Air Canada, he's now marooned in Edmonton overnight. I should add, though, I know that he has said that he's being looked after relatively well. I'm just trying to find his update here.
I would hope so.
Not usually the story you hear from people who are even bumped from flights. I mean, everybody gets bumped from flights, whatever. You're not going to knock Air Canada for that too much, although I've been bumped from 8 flights on Air Canada. So
I suppose it helps when if you're bumped from the flight and you're not able to leave the city and you desperately need some accommodation, you can sort of hand your phone to the Air Canada customer service desk.
Yeah.
Scroll to your Facebook post of 6 days ago. So you see what I'm doing for you?
Yeah.
I'm going out the bat out
That's
here.
right.
What are you going to do for me? I've scratched your back. You scratch mine.
Here's a room at the Ramada.
Makes sense.
He even said camped out at the Ramada, which is appropriate.
No one else gives that a shot.
No, that's right. But I mean, yeah, because it's the national airline, and they have a reputation for having terrible customer service. They really do.
They have a reputation to underhold.
Yeah, that's right. It's our business to underwhelm you.
Maybe they're just really sensitive. And all these things that all these mean things we've all been saying about Air Canada all these years, they're like, oh yeah, you'll get yours.
You'll get yours.
You'll get yours.
Jesse Wheeler, I see you posted in 2014 that you thought we were hot garbage. Guess what? You're getting bumped off this flight.
You know what, Northerners? You only have so many options.
That's right.
So maybe be a little nicer about it.
And I mean, you weren't around for the days when there was only 2 airlines flying up here. That was Canadian North and First Air, and those flights were about $1,300. So it's nice to have competition up here. But it was fun. It's interesting because he got a hotel room. Now I asked him if they put him up, and he said, "Yeah, I'm camped out at the Ramada Inn." I don't know if he made that connection that they gave him the room or he just got a room. Because most people don't get a room if you're bumped off a flight, especially if it's mechanical. Or if it's mechanical, you can get a voucher. But like if you're bumped off for weather, it's like, sorry, it's weather.
Yeah.
The weather outside is weather. You sleep on a bench.
Here's your $10 food
Here's your
voucher.
$10
Get
food
out of
voucher.
my face.
That's exactly what happened to us on the way to Cuba a couple years ago. We're stuck in Toronto for 4 hours, like while they were trying to get another plane, and they were like, "Here's your food voucher. It can't be used for drinks. $10. You go to any of the kiosks, any of the little things in the Toronto airport. Nothing is under $10.
Oh, no.
Nothing.
No.
Bag of chips.
Yeah.
$10. So.
And so we add Air Canada to the list of national companies that will not give us advertising.
Absolutely.
McDonald's, Air Canada. What was the other one? I feel like Pizza Hut. You threw that out of the bus the other day.
Pizza Hut's delicious.
Okay.
McDonald's is delicious as well. I love McDonald's. I just, don't feel great after it. That's all.
Not always.
I feel like they could make a national ad campaign behind that. It's like, listen, you're not going to feel great, but isn't it good?
And we can't say no.
We can't say no.
Like, you're right.
There's something in those fries. Well, Julian, we hope you make it back safe and sound very, very soon, be it bus or car or some other airline, maybe Air Canada.
I think it's all going to work out for him.
That's right.
Yeah.
I wanted to finish on this, though. I do really love it when people, when something has an obvious bad reputation for customer service, as Air Canada does. And there's always people like, well, I've never had a bad experience with them. So that must mean that no one else has. It's like,
That's right.
I've never had a bad experience, so all of you must be wrong.
Yeah, you're just complaining.
Yeah, you're just complaining.
That's right.
Quit complaining. Get out there and do something about it. Start your own airline, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so you do a better job.
If you don't have a solution, shut your mouth.
A morning show without a podcast is like a poorly crafted simile. It just doesn't make sense. This is the Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
The Grammys were last night.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my 10-second Grammy wrap-up. Did you watch the Grammys last night?
A little bit. But go ahead. Wrap it up.
I didn't. And that concludes Cabin Radio's coverage of the Grammys.
Alicia Keys was stunning.
Was
as the
she?
host. Yeah, she was fantastic.
Oh, she
But she
hosted?
always is. Yeah, she hosted.
Oh, wonderful. She's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
Janelle Monáe did a performance too. She
Very
was
nice.
really good.
Good.
So from what I saw, the Grammys was great.
So you saw two things, and they were great.
That was great.
That's
That's
great.
all I needed. Didn't even
that's
see
great.
a single award presentation. Grammys was perfect.
Well, you know how we were talking about the Oscars are going to give away some awards during commercial breaks, the less popular ones? That's
Right.
like 90% of the Grammys. They give away 10 awards on TV, and the rest are just everything else is just best jazz accordion or rock album goes to
Best barbershop album.
Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Yeah, I don't even think they did awards last night.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was just performances
Yep.
and jokes.
That's right.
Yeah, that was it. We do have something kind of interesting right now. So obviously, Ollie did some pretty incredible work over the weekend, and a lot of people are lauding him, and they're giving him a lot of props, a lot of praise.
Yep.
Completely undeserved. But Lauren McGinnis, our friend over there at the CBC, has invited him over. And he's on the Trailbreaker this morning. He's over there right now. Mm-hmm. So what we wanted to do here is take a little listen.
Yeah, infiltrate.
Yeah,
because
we're
we
gonna
weren't
infiltrate.
invited, so we got
That's
to
right.
sneak
We
in the
weren't
back
invited.
door.
We are not a part of this team.
So we brought our boom mics.
Yeah, and we've just got them hovering over the two of them. So we've got some spies in the midst. Let's see if we can listen in and see if they've gotten going yet.
What's going on over there?
Endersby, British Columbia, Miss P was said to bark in accentless.
That doesn't sound like
That doesn't
Lauren.
sound like
That's
it.
what
Doesn't
the
sound
reports
like
have
Lauren.
said.
Definitely not Ollie.
No.
Thank you very much.
Oh, there's Lauren.
That
There's
brings
Lauren.
us to 17 minutes to 8. Now, huge relief across the territory at the news over the weekend that
Yeah.
government workers, represented by the Union of Northern Workers, will not strike.
Very good.
Strike action was called off after the most recent 2 days of mediation talks that went late into the night.
Lauren, if I could just
potentially
interject-
even into the early morning hours of Sunday. However, it's not quite over yet. A mediator, Vince Reddy is his name, will rule on the outstanding issues. His conclusions, which we expect to be delivered within the next 30 days, will be binding, we understand.
All right. Thanks,
Ollie
Lauren.
Williams has been covering this story, the negotiation, the dispute for Cabin Radio, and
That's
he
us.
joins us now in studio. Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing
Oh,
that.
my God,
So, I mean, in
It's always
one
awesome.
way, editorially on Friday and over the weekend, we were preparing to do one of two things, to report on a strike or to report on a deal where the I's were dotted, the T's were crossed. in a way, we're at neither, although importantly, we're not at a strike. What happened?
So, yeah, we got to about midnight on Saturday going into Sunday. 2 very long days of negotiations, 2 very long days of information coming and going as well. I mean, regardless of it being 2 long days for the negotiators at the table, I think it was 2 very long days for everybody just trying to figure out what they were going to be doing come Monday morning. And then at about 12:30 a.m., just into Sunday, we got a news release out that said, very tersely in about 3 paragraphs, we're done. We haven't reached an agreement, but what we have done is agreed not to agree and agreed that someone else is going to figure it out for us. So in effect,
it's good
we
to be here,
get
CBC.
the binding arbitration that the union asked for. It's just being called binding recommendations so that it sort of allows everyone a little bit of wriggle room. And the territorial government, which said, well, we have to follow the process, gets to say, well, we followed the process, and the process told us to go to binding recommendations. So it's a really nice way to tie everyone in a loop because, as we often see with politics these days, it's often, at the end of the day, about making sure everyone gets to save face and everyone gets to come out and say, look, we got what we were hoping to get. And that's a clever way to do that.
Well, I was going to say
Ollie,
face
what's your
saving,
favorite
and I say that without negative connotations.
No,
I mean, that's how to
Lauren, go ahead.
How the system
get through
works. I mean, look at, as an example, look at Donald Trump and the wall. It's exactly the same situation where you have a Republican Party that says, well, we're going to build a wall. And you have a Democrat Party that says, well, you're not going to build a wall. And so then you get into the nitty-gritty of, all right, now it's a fence, but I'm going to call it a wall, but you can say it's not a wall, and then we're all good, right? It's that kind of horse trading that gets people out of these political deadlocks.
Yeah.
More
Now,
about horse trading.
I mean, this is a huge question.
Lauren?
Go ahead, Lauren.
Even leading up to those 2 days of negotiations,
It's a really
that had
good show
delivered
they're putting together
This really
over
is.
on CBC
Yeah,
this morning.
absolutely.
Of sorts
You know what? I
to
think
accept
people wanna
binding
listen to it, but
recommendations from the media
here we are.
unions ready.
How
did we get
I
here?
think our commentary about it. How did we get here?
I mean, there's a years and decades long answer to how we got to the point that we're at now. And I think for me, what is interesting is along.
You know what, Ollie? That is interesting. Thank you so much for that insight.
So elegant.
Elegant is what it is.
The amazing thing is that was all off the top of his head.
All off the top of his head. Just improvising, shooting from the hip.
My God.
So good. So good. That's CBC. They really put on a tight program.
Really good morning show.
Really
The
good.
Trailbreaker.
Yeah. It's excellent. Don't switch over there.
It's going on right now.
It's
So,
going on
like,
right now.
whether you're listening to us on cabinradio.ca or you're listening to Lauren McGinnis and the Trailbreaker over at CBC, you're getting Cabin Radio.
We got
you
both.
can't get away from us.
You can't
today.
get away from us. We're all over the place. Ollie, repping hard. 1 second.
That is the single factor.
still going.
left out.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Just finished up that we were listening to the Trailbreaker as well off air. You heard a little bit of it a little earlier on where we tried to interject, but those two were very rude and didn't let us talk.
It's almost like they didn't even realize we were in the room.
Oh, God. These intellectuals and their academia.
We don't
Does that
belong
mean
there.
anything? No, we don't.
No.
We don't. They are a classy operation. We are over here just brown bagging it. So we'll have a little bit more of that. I mean, I love that we picked up on CBC's feed and we're like, this is great.
Yeah, they're doing really good things over there. Why not?
As well they should. My taxes pay for that.
Gotta give credit where credit is due.
Well, tax credits, that is. Last night, we got our first big new look at the live-action Aladdin. It was released. Will Smith released it, I think, on his Instagram or his Twitter or something like that. And it was a 1 minute long preview. It just gave you a few more glimpses of the world that they've created for the live-action remake. Obviously, Disney doing all these live-action remakes. Dumbo's the one that's going to come out next.
What?
In March.
Why?
Because Dumbo's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to go with the blackface crows this time, though. I have
Okay.
this inkling that they're not going to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
you remember the super racist crows.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
I ain't never
mean-
seen anything no-how. I was like, all right. Good God.
You're just going to cut those characters out we're going to rewrite history here?
That's right. We are. Thank goodness. On those notes, absolutely. So we got our first glimpse of Will Smith as the genie, as the blue genie, because in promo photos, it's just Will Smith dressed as a genie.
Right.
And he's got his regular skin tone, and now he's the blue genie because he's out of the lamp.
As the stacked blue genie.
It's totally
No
stacked.
less.
He is ripped.
Good
just
Lord.
Yoked up.
Oh.
So the reaction has not been favorable.
Oh, no?
No, I mean it looks pretty great. They got your first like big wide shot of Agrabah, which looked amazing.
Right.
They had a shot of like the parade, of course, when Ali comes in his first parade to try to get Jasmine. Everything looks kind of cool, and then you get the Cave of Wonders, and then you get a shot of Will Smith as the genie. And in the promo photos, it looks really cool. In the trailer, we're still a few months away, so there might be some unfinished CGI there, but it literally looks like they did a deep fake. You know those deep fakes where they just take someone's face and put it on someone else's body, and it looks kind of unnatural, and you can almost see the lines where his face is and the rest of it isn't. Right. It kind of looks like that.
So you're saying that was actually Robin Williams'
body? That was Robin Williams' body.
Will Smith's face.
Shaved, of course, because that man was furry, with Will Smith's face on it. So the reaction's not favorable, saying that Will Smith's Aladdin genie is going to haunt my nightmares. I'll never sleep again. It's Will Smith's fault. They said always terrifying.
It doesn't look that bad. Haunt your nightmares.
I don't know if it's going to haunt my nightmares. It was more like,
Yeah.
But for me, it was more like, that's how it's going to look, huh? Yeah. Obviously, like Will Smith has like this. He's wonderful. He's a great performer. He really is.
Yeah.
One of the biggest stars ever in the world. And he has ridiculously big shoes to fill. Yeah. Aladdin, the original Aladdin is not Aladdin without Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Right? So he's got, and I think Will Smith could do a great job because he's very quick. He can improvise. He's a very good.
He can sing.
He can sing. He can sing. He can dance. He can play piano.
Couldn't before.
It couldn't before. All right. Sorry. That's good. So I think he's going to be good. It's just like, it just looks kind of off. That's all. Yeah. It looks a little off. So that seems to be the reaction. Okay. I'm interested in seeing it. Cause what are they doing this year? Dumbo's coming out this year. Aladdin's coming out this year. Lion King is coming out this year.
So right.
3 live action.
That
remakes.
Looks great.
The Lion King looks amazing.
Yeah.
Aladdin looks kind of in the middle. Whereas Dumbo looks kind of pretty cute.
How far apart are these coming out? Like 6 months
Dumbo
apart?
March, Aladdin May, I think.
Oh, wow.
I think Lion King July.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. They're doing the MCU thing.
All right.
Where they just have all these productions going on at once and they release them 2 months apart.
Man, actually going to make frequent visits to the movie theater.
Absolutely.
In the next few months, I think.
Well, this year for Marvel, it's Captain Marvel, Avengers, and Spider-Man.
Oh, wow.
Another Spider-Man.
Okay.
So there you go. All kinds of movies coming out this year. Like every year.
I think our biggest criticism, though, we took a little peek at the trailer off air, and I think our biggest criticism was that Jafar just sounds
not
lame.
Scary at all.
No.
Also, you picked it out, and I didn't even pick it out the first time I watched it. They're at the Cave of Wonders.
Yeah.
He's leading Aladdin
like the opening
into the cave.
scene.
One of the opening scenes. And
or I guess not the opening.
Yeah, no, he does it twice, right? He does it with Azim, El Muthif.
Yes.
And he takes Aladdin back there, but when he's with Aladdin, it's because they've escaped prison.
Yes.
And Jafar's supposed to be dressed as an old man.
Yeah.
But he's in full Jafar regalia.
Yeah.
And he's just, and I'm sorry, it's not about masculinity or anything like that. He just doesn't sound menacing at all.
I need a villainous villain.
Right? I need like a guy that sounds like he's almost a snake.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, and he just kind of, he's just like, your life starts now, Aladdin. And it's like, what? What? That is not menacing. Get out of here, Jafar.
Next.
Yeah. So it was odd. It was odd that he's not dressed as an old man, and that he sounds like just not very scary.
And you know what I only just realized right now? Scar and Jafar, are like the same.
They're the same
thing.
They are the same.
Yeah.
Scar, Jafar.
Okay.
Yeah. They are.
I don't know how I never picked that up in my 30, whatever, like 25 years before this. Scar and Jafar. Well, there it is. It's sitting right in front of me this whole time.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And they sound almost alike. Like Jeremy Irons is the voice of Scar, but like Jeremy Irons could have been the voice of Jafar as well.
Yeah, very similar.
Prince Abu Boo. Very good.
A monkey's uncle.
So good. Wonderful stuff. So Aladdin's coming out like May 24th. It looks like a movie.
It'll be fun.
Cabin Radio's Morning Show Podcast. All the best chat, none of the embarrassing mistakes.
Brought to you by Cabin News, the only news in Yellowknife that can speak with an English accent. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter with you on your Monday morning. The Simpsons has been renewed for season 31 and 32. If you had a baby in season 1990, it is now the same age as... No, that doesn't make any sense. 89?
89.
89.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You're right. It's
I
fine.
have no
Yeah.
idea.
No,
It's
that
been
was great.
so
Carry
long.
on. I was enjoying this math.
Stop it. My math is no good. Well, then how is it season 32 when it's been on the air for 30 years?
Well, they've been renewed for
Huh?
season 31 and 32.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So
It hasn't happened
Are
yet.
we in season 30 right now?
I
have no
assume?
idea. This is how little I watch The Simpsons now.
Great. So thanks for kicking off this
stop
radio
it.
break
Stop it.
on the subject
Stop it.
that
We're-
you know nothing about.
We're here.
To be fair,
Nobody
watches this.
To be fair, nobody watches The Simpsons anymore consistently. I haven't watched it consistently since like season 12.
Yeah, that was probably around where I tapped out
Yeah.
too. Watching, the new Sunday night new episode.
That's right.
Yeah, it's probably like season 13, 14 where I was like,
I feel like it's literally a generational thing now.
time
because
for a
that was
new chapter.
Generation ago that we stopped watching it 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Ay.
And then the movie happened, and we all kind of hoped that would be the series finale. And then they were like, no, let's just go
Let's
for
just keep
another
Well, they have
20
to keep
years.
going because it's such a cash cow for Fox, right?
Yeah.
It's so huge. Same with Family Guy. Family Guy's in like season 19 or something. It's ridiculous.
And I think that's kind of been the sentiment from longtime Simpsons fans now.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't watch it anymore. We don't really like the show anymore. It's a huge part of our life. We grew up watching it.
Yeah.
And for
it's-
you and I think it kind of formed our sense of humor, really.
Yeah, it did. I don't have a sense of humor if it's not for The Simpsons.
Pretty much. No, if it wasn't for The Simpsons, I would not know what funny was.
Yeah.
I wouldn't,
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be a thing. But yeah, and that's the same way for a lot of people. It's like we grew up watching The Simpsons. We love the show in principle. We don't currently watch it. There's still a part of us, though, that's kind of happy it's still there.
Yeah.
There's just like a continuity kind of thing. Like it's like at least some things in our life are still normal.
That's right. Oh, some things we can still lean on. No, it's one of those things that's been on for so very, very long. It's the longest running show in TV history at this point.
But they're moving with the times. Let's give you an episode recap from the most current season. So the November 11th, 2018 episode is called From Russia Without Love.
Yes.
Following a failed prank phone call, Bart, Nelson, and Milhouse get Mo, a mail-order Russian bride, on the dark web.
Yes.
How could that not still aspire to the quality of the early seasons?
Well, the thing is, like, even if you watch one of the new episodes, there's still moments where you're like, that was funny. Like, they still have really good writing.
Yeah,
it's just
two of them.
They've tried very, very much to be like Family Guy has influenced them a lot. There's a lot more kind of randomness to it now.
Yeah.
Whereas there used to be like randomness, but it fed the plot.
Yeah.
Whereas Family Guy just does randomness for the sake of randomness.
Yeah, just kind of one-off gags.
That's right. And then Simpsons kind of does that now too. Although I guess Family Guy kind of lifted that from Simpsons as well. Like,
Well, that's the thing. Like,
Pops Freshenmeyer is a one-off.
yeah,
joke.
Family Guy was
Brilliant.
obviously very influenced by shamelessly influenced by The Simpsons. And then, now the way it stands, it seems like The Simpsons is more influenced by Family Guy,
Yes.
which is kind of infuriating for longtime Simpsons fans.
But all this Simpson hates prefaced our annual Ollie Williams Simpsons trivia contest.
Yes.
So this is where Lekter and I ask Ollie a series of Simpsons questions to rate his Simpsons experience from his halcyon days on the other side of the pond.
This will be a quick quiz.
Yes, it will. Lekter, go ahead.
Okay. So 22 years ago, yesterday,
Yes.
we were introduced to
JFK was a
and
Simpson.
lost
What? No.
a classic Simpsons character.
Oh my God! Yeah, we were. That was 22 years ago? Yeah.
One episode.
One episode.
A one-off. What? Actually, technically two characters.
Two characters.
But what was the name of the one character?
That's right. We'll give you a hint.
You can pick either, and I'll give you the answer.
We'll give you a hint. He went back to his home planet. Is that what
Poochie.
we're
That's
talking-
right.
There we go.
Hey! Very nice. Yes, Poochie.
Yeah.
Voiced by Homer Simpson.
That's right. And he was Rostified by 10%.
The bonus answer was Roy.
That's right, Roy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever considered that you may be a parody of yourselves?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, this is what I do. I make a fool of myself. Everybody's saying so. Okay.
Slightly psychotic laughter. Carry on.
Let's see here. Let's see. Okay.
Are you making these up off the top of your
I
head?
am making these up at the top of my head.
Oh, amazing.
Okay, so there's an episode where Revlin Lovejoy's daughter comes into the picture, and Bart falls in love with her.
How many freckles does she have?
No. And her name was Jessica, I believe. Jessica Lovejoy.
Jessica Lovejoy.
And she turns out to be a bad seed, even too bad for Bart, and he can't, he figures out that he doesn't want to be with her because she's just too bad. Who voices Jessica Lovejoy?
Oh, I don't know.
Ooh. You don't know?
Of course not.
It's like the world's most famous actress.
Oh, Judi Dench.
Yes. It was Dame Judi Dench. It wasn't. It was Meryl Streep.
I'm not even sure if I knew that, actually.
Meryl Streep voiced Jessica Lovejoy.
I'm so sorry that you're having to listen to this, everybody. Is there one more?
No, there's someone screaming. Someone screamed that at their phone.
Turn it off.
Meryl
Turn it
Streep.
off.
I got one more for you.
Okay, go on.
And another classic episode with Sideshow Bob, one of the most beloved characters in Simpsons history.
That's right.
There is an episode where his brother shows up.
Mm-hmm.
What is the name of Sideshow Bob's brother?
Now, this is tricky because I'm tempted to say, it must be Sideshow Mel, but no, that's just because they're sideshows doesn't make them brothers.
No relation.
I have absolutely... Is it Niles?
Ooh, it's so close.
That's
it's voiced by he's voiced by David Hyde Pierce because obviously Sideshow Bob is voiced by
Fraser
Kelsey
Crane.
Grammer,
and it's a parody of Frasier.
It is a parody of Frasier. So, but what's his name in the show?
No, well, I think we've established that I couldn't possibly know that because I was outside as a child.
So was I. I just watched Simpsons too.
Outside covering news.
Covering.
No time to watch The Simpsons.
Come
I got
on,
a new story to cover.
Then I could do my trivia quiz for you.
The name was Cecil.
Cecil, that's right.
Very good. So my question for you two.
Oh, God. What does binding arbitration mean for the future of the NWG?
Simpsons question. Seeing as you guys are showing off on your trivia, I'll show off on mine.
Okay.
Which season had the most episodes?
Ooh.
Oh.
You just looked that up. I don't know because again, haven't watched it consistently in however many years. But I think there's a season with 28 or 29 episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Season
this
17.
This is dull. Season 6 to 9 all had 25. Those are the most. Second fewest. First season had the fewest, 13. Second fewest episodes in a season was 20. When was that?
Yeah.
This season, because it hasn't ended yet.
Hey.
Oh, very good. That'd be a good answer, but it's wrong. No, season 19. Good. That was exciting. That's absolutely infuriatingly dull. So congratulations to everybody.
I'll have you know that we recorded part of Trailbreaker this morning and put it out there as well. So
burn Laura McGinnis.
No. It wasn't Lauren.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.